Hey guys, welcome back. Hopefully you've done your warm-up and now we're ready to get into the actual workout. So I'm going to give you just some pointers before we get started because like I said, injury prevention is important. We'll have some pointers and then we'll get into it. So we're going to start off with jumping jacks. Jumping jacks you all know from elementary school. We're jumping out, the arms are coming overhead, trying to make sure those knees don't come to the inside. This is always a no-no situation. So we jump out and then jump back in. Pretty standard, pretty simple. Chair sit from the side. Your feet are going to be hips distance or a little wider apart. The knees rotate to the outside, as I just talked about. The hands are going to go overhead and the back is flat. That's your chair sit position. Push-ups. Hands are right under the shoulders. Elbows are coming at a diamond shape, not to the outside, not into the body. We'll do variations as we go, but for now, standard push-up. If at any moment you need to, drop down to the knees for the push up, and for the push down, come up onto the straight leg. So for the push down, you go down, knees down, push up. Concentric, eccentric push up, that's your variation if you can't do the full push up. Then we have squats. Again, feet hips distance or a little wider, knees rotating out. You'll simply sit down into the squat and stand up. Trying to come all the way into that chair position. The back is long. Then we have inchworm after a little rest. You roll down through the head, keep the legs as long as possible. Walk the hands out, squeeze the glutes in the plank. Walk the hands back and stand up. Coming down, back and up. It's harder than it looks. We go back into squats, then we go into our crab walk. The feet are slightly in front of the knees, coming in this upside down V position. The hands are to the outside or the back, never facing your toes, all either to the outside or the back. The hips are just about an inch off the ground. Like the bear crawl, we're using that opposition, using the opposite hand and leg to walk forward and backwards. Then we go into a plank. You guys all know what that is, hopefully. We're going to go into a forearm plank here so you can touch the hands together. Weight is resting on the forearm. Glutes are engaged, squeezing that butt as tight as possible. Then we have the standing crawl like we did from that first warm-up. Then we have a reverse lunge, standing tall, shifting the weight backwards here. You want to keep your weight above instead of shifting forward. You can shift forward slightly if that is more comfortable for you. The main thing we're watching out for is that this knee is not shifting over those toes. If you can see your toes here, you're at a good distance. So we're going straight up and down here and then standing up. So we're shifting the weight backwards and standing up. Smashing those big toes into the ground and standing up. Arms can stay in front of you. Then we finish it off with side plank on both sides. Just like the plank, we're on the forearm. The elbow is right below the shoulder, not in front, not behind. We squeeze the glutes. Take everything off of the ground, the feet are flexed and stacked, or one in front of the other. So let's go ahead and do it. From the top, we're starting with jumping jacks. There we go.
Jumping jacks.
We have 30 seconds. Breathing nice and softly to start. We're not in any rush here. We already warmed the body up. We're keeping the spine nice and long. No variations in that hip complex. Neck is long. Try to keep it from bobbing. 5 more seconds.
3, 2, 1.
Moving into that chair sit. Toes straight forward, knees wider than the toes, hands overhead. Again, you want to keep those knees behind the toes, but you want to keep the toes smashing into the ground. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the butt here. It's hard to do, but it will be more effective if you can squeeze nice and tightly. If you keep a smile on your face, that always helps too. Knees are rotating out. Once again, big toe in the ground. Beautiful. Coming down to your full plank position here. Fingertips pressing in the ground. These are the push-ups. Straight up and straight down. The neck is super long here. If you want to make this more advanced, you can do your plyo push-ups, you can touch the opposite side, whatever you know to do to make those more advanced. If you need to make this less advanced, Come down with the legs off, then put the legs on and come up.
3, 2, 1.
Beautiful. Standing up, coming into our squat. Again, just like the chair sit, this time with active motion through it. We're trying to sit as low as possible, squeezing the glutes to stand up. If you had a dollar bill in between your butt cheeks, let's go for $100 bill between your butt cheeks. You don't want someone to steal it, so you want to squeeze right there. Keep it nice and tight at the top.
3, 2, 1.
And stand tall and rest. You have 20 seconds. Grab some water. If at any moment you need to make variations to this, please do. Exercise should not be that complicated. You can go walking for an hour and it will be effective.
Inchworm.
Inchworm, coming down, lean forward. Walk the hands out to the plank, come back, stand up. Down, out. If you need to bend those knees, that's totally fine. If you have the hamstring mobility and can keep them straight, do that. It's going to be more on the shoulders, more on the lats.
3, 2.
Finish the last one.
Squats.
Coming into your squats. Again, knees rotating out. Feet hips distance or further. Coming into this position. We're developing power by squeezing those glutes forward. We're keeping our lower spine intact and not injury prone. We're preventing injury by squeezing our glutes. That's the whole point, right?
3,
Good, keep those big toes in the ground.
1. Crab.
Coming down to your crab walk. Hands going to the outside. Walking forward and backward. Hands are to the outside or towards the back wall. Opposite hand and foot at the same time. Good. Keep breathing. If at any moment you need to pause this, you're more than welcome to. This should feel it in your shoulder and your deltoid, but mostly in your tricep.
2, 1.
Good, flipping over. We're going into our forearm plank here. Coming over, squeeze the glutes as tight as possible. You can round that spine slightly to get more abdominal engagement. If you want to bend those knees and round the spine more, plenty of abdominal engagement there. You should actively feel like your elbows and your toes are pulling towards each other. This should make you shake. Breathing deep.
3, 2, 1.
And relax. You've got another little rest. As I was saying, walking can be super effective exercise. But everything has to be done with the intention of progress, with the intention of forward movement. You can't walk and be dilly-dallying on your phone and not be out of breath. It's not going to do anything for you. Take the time, take the energy, separate yourself from your phone, get into it, 6-7 minutes, 3 times a day, boom, you're set. All right, here we go, standing crawl, touching the opposite side. Again, that's based off of scientific recommendations of 30 minutes of exercise a day, ideally 60 minutes, but we can go with 30. Touching the opposite side with the elbow or with the wrist. This is active recovery, and it's also quite damn good exercise.
3, 2.
Coming into your reverse lunge. If you need to hold on to something for this, please do. Shifting back so you can see those toes. Counterbalance with the hands if you need to. Body straight up and down or slightly forward. Your knees are coming to 2 90-degree angles. And your big toes on both feet are smashing into the ground. 8 seconds. 3,
2, 1.
Good. Coming into the side plank on the left side. Left elbow on the ground. Feet are stacked, or the top foot is in front. Hand is flat on the ground, opposite hand on the hip. This elbow is below the shoulder. If at any moment you need to rest, take it down. Come right back up. You can also bend those knees if you need to. Belly button stays aside. Neck is long and loose. Little tension there.
2, 1.
Switch sides.
Right.
Again, stack those feet or put the top foot in front. Neck is long, belly button's activated, pulling those hips off the ground, shoulder right over that elbow. Staying here. You can smile because this is the last one. Breathing deep.
3, 2, 1. Your time
And all done with that. Guys, this is a morning quickie workout. You can also do this night. You can do this whenever you have a spare 6 minutes in your life, which is a lot of time. Take these exercises as you need. If you need to modify or if you need modifications that I did not specify, email me, write in the comments. I will provide lots of options for you. Get some water, get a little snack, go review your nutrition stuff. We have so many more exercises coming. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you all very soon. Ciao.